Chinga. All right. So we pulled the transmission out of this car, and this is the one. So we're working on getting it tore down. Well, bad news. If you've been watching and following it all, we got these nice Husky bits right here. I think we made it through, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 of these, almost 5 transmissions. So we just snapped it off here on the end. So we'll be taking that back. Told lifetime warranty, so we're going to be returning it. Got lucky. I had these bolt thing, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4 out with that. This one here was a little picky, just kind of caught the edges of it. But what we had going on with this transmission was it doesn't want to shift, or it'll shift, but it's really tight, and with that it's locked in gear. So I'm going to guess that maybe the 3/4 snap ring broke, and 3rd gear or 4th gear is locked onto the shaft, or the snap ring isn't broken, being that this has some silicone on it. Maybe silicone got down in there and damaged the bearings where they couldn't get lube, and then they seized the shaft. There was a lot of this black stuff down in here. Hopefully you can see that right there. But with that being said, I got all of the bolts off this back side. So we're down to getting the back plate off. Lots of goo in here. What in the gooing heck is going on here? What is this stuff? Wow. Look, that was down in there. Man, oh days. Look at this. Alright, so I'm going to fight with these snap rings, which is usually the best way to say that. And just get them off. And then I'm just going to pop this thing. I got the reverse gear to pop. I'm going to get these gears slid out, and we're going to see what we got going on. Something's locked or whatever, and go from there. Alright, inside of the case actually looks pretty freaking clean, man. Yeah, I don't know why it was like disintegrating stuff on the end of it here. Let's lay this over. There's a bit of oil here leaking out of it, but lay this thing over, slide this thing out, take a look at these shafts. Quite a bit of gross sediment stuff down there. First gear, take the forkies off, silicone. Man, I hope this shaft's alright. Actually looks pretty good right there, but you can tell if you look at this one, it's kind of shiny, and if you look at this one, it's kind of black. So right there is our problem. She is burnt to the shaft right there. Okay, and if you look here, I don't know if you can see this in there, this one here is pretty, you can see where that was getting quite a bit of the heat transfer, and that's pretty much junk too. I would say this one here is probably junk. Everything else is okay, all the ones you don't need. So, well, with that, we'll have to pull this bearing off. and get that nut off of there. And then see just how bad it is inside there. So I've got to remove the diff out of this case yet. Look at this stuff. You know, it's just the normal pile of, yeah, there you go. Third gear fork right there. It's got some wear, but it's still usable. So with that, I'm gonna get this mess cleaned up on the floor, get the diff out of this case quick. I'll show you what it looks like inside there, see if I can find any, see if we see any mess down inside there. But we definitely can see that we had the gears locked onto this shaft here. So what an oily mess. Transmission fluid's so much nicer to clean up. Alright, I'm gonna get this popped off. Alright, so another LSD diff, yippee! And you can tell we had some mess there, darkened, heated stuff toward the bottom. The case itself does not look bad. I mean, other than the fact it's super gross, super dirty, and these holes over here are messed up. But if you needed to use it, it's there. Alright, get this mess cleaned up, and I guess we'll start tearing some of these gears off that shaft so we can have a look at them. Alright, so I noticed that this is missing this cover. So it kind of tells me, suspect that somebody was in here. There's a little nick there. Also, the nut had extra bends in it. So this transmission, somebody had it apart at one time. It's the best way to say it. Alright, you can kind of see it was bent over twice, right next to each other, which is not normal. Let's put this off here. Let's see if we can get this one. Pop down here. Actually chunked that one. This should be how not to take it apart. Okay. All right, you see it. That is everything right there. It's stuck. Look, I got it stuck in gear. Get it back down. All right. Kind of see in there. Shaft marred. Hopefully it's not too bad. That shaft might be able to get cleaned up. I'll know more once I get it off. I mean, that sucker is done. There we go. All right. Whew. Not really what you want to have happen. Yep. That's it. Snap ring. Popped up off of there. I guess they said pushing too hard causes that, I think. Oh yeah, that'll polish up. I've seen worse ones polished. Let's try and get this snap ring off of here. Right, there we go. Man. Definitely not what you want to see, guys. This should come off here. There we go. All right. Man, it looks like someone had this in a vise or something. They were trying to hold this up here. They were clamping on this shaft up here in the front. But not terrible. That's what it is. I would honestly say somebody didn't put something together right. Yeah, it looks pretty good actually. I would say definitely maybe this was damaged when they removed it. You can tell it came off. It was pushed, and then you could see where the gear was riding on it from just getting shoved and shoved and shoved. I mean, I got so many of these. This thing's heated, so it would be something I wouldn't use anyway. I'd have to clean that up, but this is probably junk anyway. All right, now. Oh look, they actually had carbon fiber blocking rings in here. This was rebuilt, so had P-Works carbon fiber blocking rings installed in it. I mean, that one still might be usable, believe it or not. I'd have to clean this up. The heat transfer might have it damaged. It might still be usable. Yeah, it's all scarred down in there. Hopefully this camera's still on. Yep. Oh god, we're rolling. Needle bearings. The plastic, I don't know if that's part of it. No. Plastic is gone. They're all disintegrated. Like there's the hub piece. There's part of the there's part of that. So third gear hub here. Third, fourth hub synchronizer. Yeah, right there. That's where that snap ring caught. So it's got that stuff damaged. I can go there for junk. I can go there for junk. That's junk. That's junk. Here's the other blocking ring. You know, they might be okay and usable. Fourth gear here. Third gear? Yeah, fourth gear. Bunch of heat transfer. I mean, if I clean this up and it looks all right, I'll probably throw it in, but it's got wear here from heat, from getting hot. So it's probably just best to put that on the junk pile too. But man, whew, it tore it up. So that's why we were locked up. And then all I gotta do is tear the output shaft apart and we can see what was going on there. But when they do this, they pretty much come apart. I don't usually, from the ones that I've pulled apart, I usually don't see this issue. I don't usually see issues like this, or ones that, or where the snap ring broke, or something failed. You know, if you got silicone in there and it blocks your passageways, you know, you'll see damage from that, and I've seen that already. I've seen one already that was run low on fluid till it self-destructed itself entirely. But usually like that stuff there, or stuff that's damaged and just not put together right, is usually where I see failure of stuff like that. Look, that's got some nicks on them threads there, I think. Yeah, I think I feel it, yeah. From them pulling it apart. Like I said, they were holding on here pretty tight with something. Man, that sucks, because like I said, that's a twist-free shaft right there. All right, that's it. I mean, that's all the farther I'm tearing this apart for right now for this video. I just really wanted to see what was going on inside this transmission and what caused the problem. So there you go, man. Broken snap ring. We got bent springs. Look, that's bent. I don't know if you can tell. Yep. See, rolling back and forth on my fingers. So that was bent because that bearing being, you know, that thing being out. But those parts you can still get new. The rings you can't get new. A lot of these gears you just can't get. So that's it. I'm done.